This conference will now be recorded.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for attending our meeting tonight, guys. Welcome. And the phone is off, right? Yeah. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Someone like to move that? Moved by Tim, second by Michelle. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Aye. Second item on the agenda is we need some resolutions to adopt the New York State Unified Solar Permit and Energy Benchmarking resolutions. They're two separate resolutions. And the reason we need to do this is so we can go after NYSERDA funding for energy efficiency. By doing this and one other thing, we'll immediately qualify for a $5,000 grant. We've talked about doing a car charger with that money, but this is some of the stuff we need to do. The first resolution would be establishing an energy benchmarking requirements for our municipal buildings. You have a copy of the resolutions. Boilerplate, it's the same one all the other towns have been adopting.
I'll make it.
Moved by Darren, second by Tina. And Dawn, this needs to be roll call vote.
Okay, start with you, Roy.
Yes.
Darren?
Yes.
Michelle? Yes. Tina? Tim?
Yes.
Carried with all in favor. Okay, the next one is a resolution, and just so you guys know, I sent out an email to some of the other all the supervisors in Essex County. Many towns have already adopted this, and the ones that have not yet are in the process of adopting it. It's just this is kind of stuff we need if we're going to apply for any NYSERDA grants. So this one's adoption of a unified solar permit application. Copy of the application's here. It's the same one every other town uses. Currently, what Doug does is for when someone comes in looking to install solar at their house, it's just a $50 fee. He just does it. Am I correct in saying that, Doug? Correct. Okay, it's a $50 fee right now. At budget time, the town could take a look at adjusting that if we thought it was necessary. I just want to get this on the books now so we can move this along at what he's charging, which is $50. Someone like to move this?
I'll make it.
Moved by Darren, second by Michelle. Dawn, roll call vote again.
Okay, Roy?
Yes.
Darren?
Yes.
Michelle? Yes. Tina? Yes. Tim?
Carried with all in favor. Thank you, guys. This is the same thing that ANCA is assisting us with. Nancy Bernstein on she gave a presentation a few months ago. She's assisting us with this.
Do you have any idea what neighboring towns charge for that permit?
I don't at this point.
That's under the
Yeah. I would imagine it would be also the scope of like what the solar is. Like if it's a couple panels, then $50 is step unwarranted. If it's someone doing like a solar farm, then certainly we should have some. Go and research it. And, I don't think it's going to be a budget windfall by whatever we charge right now, anyways. Especially days like today, I don't think we're generating too much solar power. Okay.
A lot of wind power, yeah.
A lot of wind power, yes.
From this table.
Well, it is election season, so that higher.
Kills too many birds.
Too many birds, that's right. All right, so the next item is financing for the highway renovations. You have a copy of the resolutions from our bonding council. Before we get into that, though, I'm really happy about this, guys. We were thinking it was going to be almost $300,000 for what we would have to borrow. We're actually only borrowing $200,000. We have over $800,000 worth of up to almost $800,000 of upgrades at our highway garage. So practically a brand new building out there for those of you in the audience. You toured it. This far exceeded building a new brand new building. We recovered $592,634 from our insurance company. Some people were saying to us, well, why didn't you just take that insurance money and build a brand new building? Well, a brand new building would have been, first of all, $3 to $4 million. Second of all, if we would have chose to go with a brand new building, the insurance company would not have given us the kind of money we received because we had a clause in our policy that said it had to be built back to code. So the way they were treating the building is if they would have said it was total, it'd be sort of like you smashing your car and then the insurance company saying, well, you might owe $10,000, but they're only giving you $5,000 on it because that's what they're saying it's worth. So this was a much smarter way of approaching this from the town standpoint. If you haven't been out there, I would get together with our highway superintendent, take a tour. We have a standby generator now. We have energy efficient lights, new furnace. I mean, Darren worked on the project. My nephew Cliff worked on the project. We had a great team, and I think we got the best bang for our buck for our community with these highway improvements. So enough of that.
And just to add in there, I don't know exactly the savings, but I know the highway crew said as far as the floor is drying out and their work environment last year was much better. And we were saving, I know it was over $1,000 a month in heating costs between the insulation upgrades and the new furnace.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. And I think we did the right thing all in all. So kudos to everyone involved. So that gets to our portion that we got to pay, which is $200,000. We're looking at right now, based on Nicole's recommendations, a 5-year bond. You have a resolution. I just need someone to move it, to go ahead and borrow the money. Moved by Michelle, second by Tina. Don, do we need a roll call vote on that?
I would do it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so yes.
Okay, you're yes. Darren?
Yes.
Michelle? Yes. Tina? Yes. Tim?
Yes.
All in favor, motion passed.
All right, thank you. At our last meeting, we talked about doing some mid-year staffing salary adjustments. We actually talked just about Ashton Winch, moving him up from 1872 to 2072. I also added Chip Runyon in there from 1550 to 1750 an hour. The budget impact is approximately $3,100 for the balance of the year, and the funds will come from unexpended fund balance. So I need a motion in a second for that.
Can I just ask?
Sure.
Because Ashton is the deputy park superintendent. Will he be the second highest paid parks employee?
Not as of yet, but as we get into our budget next month, it's going to be my recommendation that we do some substantial raises for the town staff going into 24. And the reason being, I know we like to try to be frugal here and all of that, stretch the dollar, but a lot of towns, counties, they're all scarfing employees. We lost 2 employees due to what we were paying, among other things. And it's easier and more financially prudent for our community to pay a couple bucks more an hour and keep some quality people that we have versus training new people all the time. So,
Ashton's a good worker.
Yeah.
He's been here more than 3 years. He's only called in sick once.
well, and if you remember at budget time last year when we were adopting the budget, it was actually Darren that said he wanted to revisit this mid-year.
And we got him $1 last year.
Yeah. This is
Too, so.
He's definitely worth 2072, and Chip's definitely worth 1750. And the budget impact for like 5 months left, 4 months left in this budget year, it's not a big deal.
And Chip is only seasonal.
Right.
The Chip not only
Yeah.
seasonal.
So it is retroactive to July 11th, and I need someone to move this.
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Michelle, second by
Second.
Darren. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Also, just for the community members here, Stewart starts now at 22 an hour. So if you think that 2072 is a lot for the deputy parks superintendent who's been here for more than 2 years. It isn't, not in 2024.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about Stewart's, being they used to be one of my competitors, is they'll advertise those ridiculously high prices and then only work them like 14 hours a week too. I don't know if that's changed, but I know when we were in the industry 4 years ago, that was the case. You put it by the door, come work for us, X number of dollars, and then you go in and find out, oh, it's only for 14 hours, and if we don't meet our budgetary hourly, they get sent home. So I think the steps that the town's done and the steps that the town's doing, I think it sends a signal to our town employees that we value their service to us and the community. And I think we've been doing the right thing all along. So I'll get off my soapbox now. The next thing is the long-term bonding of the dam improvements. Our bonding council didn't have everything ready for us for tonight, but we will have to call a special meeting before September 1st because that's when it all comes due. This was our 5th and final year, so what we're doing now is it'll be the whole 25 to 30 year longevity payment, which was the original plan. The reason we didn't do the long-term financing before is because we had that outstanding DASNY grant of $100,000, and if we did the long-term financing before that, we'd lose the grant money. In hindsight, it probably would have been better to go ahead and finance it last year because of the way interest rates are going, but the grant would not have paid us if we would have done the long-term financing before we received the check. So all the grant money's in now. We're looking at, on the dam improvements that were done, 4 years ago now. So over $1 million of improvements on that, the dam and the gate. So I will keep you posted on that. I need a resolution for approving expenses and transfers. Moved by Darren, second by Tina. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Highway, Louis not here tonight. I know next month he's planning on talking to us about the new loader system. You guys have the paperwork on it, about the long-term financing. He mentioned that to me today. He said to let people know that Hardy Road, it is planned on that being paid this year. However, they're waiting on the county. And I informed him right now, because the county is so short of staff, that they're actually contracting a lot of the paving out. So he may want to start looking at other options. But for anyone traveling Hardy Road, you'll notice where there's new ditching across and it's really bumpy and stuff. It is planned to have that paved this year. So how it gets done, stay tuned. Youth Commission, Bethany.
We had a meeting tonight, rescheduled, conflicts Thursday night. Our summer program ended. We're in the process of summarizing everything, and when we get that done, we'll send an email to the board. We're doing a car wash on the 26th at Wilderness Band from 9 to 11 a.m. That's all we have going on.
Well, I'll add something to it. A couple weeks ago, I went up there to the youth center, and I got to tell you, Caitlin Delaney now, she did one heck of a job for the youth commission in the town. When I walked in there, the children in that program were captivated by her reading, and she had total control. And it's little guys that normally are all over the place, and she did a really good job. And I think you guys can be proud of what you accomplished for the short program. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
You put in a lot of
You all did an amazing job.
Yeah. Okay, codes enforcement. Doug, you have anything?
We had one new building permit in July, $735 in fees. We had 60 open permits. I had over 30 site visits. And with the STR permit update, we have 112 permits active and $51,350 in fees collected.
Any questions for Doug, guys?
The average year, and I know I'm not expecting an exact answer But just kind of a ballpark estimate, how many building permits in an average?
In an average year.
Yeah, or the past few years? You can get back to me, I don't want to.
I'll have to get back to you on it, because it ranges quite a bit.
Okay.
And, yeah, I've been through 10-year blocks for other situations I had to calculate stuff. And I just don't have those numbers up.
Yep.
Just for clarification, Tim, now are you asking them for total building permits or new construction?
Right, that's another point.
And he has all that.
I guess both, right? I'd like to see both.
Yeah, and as far as what the revenue is, I know it's part of our yearly budget of what we budget, so all you have to do is take out the last few years' budgets and it has building permit revenue.
Mhm.
And I think there's even at the end of the year an actual amount.
Yes, but I know as Darren suggests, it can be anything from a slight modification to like a deck,
From a deck to
Or-
a fence to a
right,
garage.
to a new house. So,
Doug, perhaps what you can give them is that over the last few years, we've been getting freedom of information requests from different environmental groups. Just give them that, and it breaks it right totally down to what type of permits. and-
don't inundate me.
No,
I just want-
it's a
Want
page.
hundreds of pages, you know?
Okay.
Okay.
Water, Eddie's been busy, reservoirs are cleaned out, he just completed all the flushing of hydrants, and, he's staying very busy. John as well, neither one of them are here tonight. For my report, I've got a brief one tonight. It's, just a reminder on the High Peaks Health Center open house this Thursday from 8 to 10. We're gonna be starting to work on the town budget next month. Get ready. I want to thank Tina for being my deputy. And just to make you guys aware, downstairs, it looks like we're gonna have to replace the copy machine. It's like 15 years old, and it's no longer working. And to have a tech come look at it, it's like $1,500 just to walk in the door. So Nicole and I are exploring options for the downstairs copiers.
So may I ask why we need the one downstairs if we have one up there?
The assessors actively work in their office, and then Doug certainly works on one. What I've talked to Nicole about is possibly just getting a regular copy machine that's tied into the computer so you can print, sort of like a laser printer or something.
Because we don't need one as big and fancy as
No,
what's
not
down
at
there
all,
now.
not at all, not at all. But they definitely need copier machines. The way the assessors are, like they're down there working right now, they definitely need copier machines. It's not practical for them not to have one.
And I would say they need one with a scanner too.
It's really important to have the biggest possible page to be copied. That's the problem, especially in those.
For the maps. For the maps are in it. Now, we just replaced the one in Cambridge. We had the same thing you have in your office. And we got a much nicer one.
How much?
With the same company, cheaper than what we're paying for the original one that we had for ours.
So how much did you pay?
I think I paid.
Okay, let me know.
I'll look at, when I get back.
Okay. So basically,
Well, it was cheaper than the original one.
just letting you guys know, we're gonna get either one copier or a couple.
So I
small ones.
just,
But it does scan,
Totally
like you
agree
said,
with-
the maps for the planning and stuff like that.
totally agree with Doug's point, because I wanted a big copy of our zones for the zoning board. And it's not small, but it would be nice to be able to get a larger one. And I think for a lot of these types of things, it would be nice to be able to get larger maps.
We could farm it out, but it's something to look at.
Well, I mean, I agree within reason, some things may be nice, but
Mhm.
practical and nice are two different things, because not only are we talking the size of a copying machine that can handle it, the maintenance on it, then you're buying specialty paper. And so I just think that, we have to weigh out how often do you need to print something that size versus the luxury of it. It's just my
Well, what
point.
does ours up here go to? Probably 11 by 17.
by
No, we have actually one that goes, Don, what's the bigger poster? that we manually feed in.
You don't do 16 by
Yeah.
20 up here, do you?
No,
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 11
it's
by
only
17.
17.
It's only 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to get anything
Which is
bigger
pretty
than
good.
that
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll price them out and see what shakes out.
16 by 20 would be good.
16 by 20.
Yeah,
That's an option.
Okay,
that's a luxury.
board
But all our
member.
toners that was free and all that comes with it.
I know the STR committee wanted a large map. They paid for it on their own.
That is not necessarily true.
Yeah, I was just gonna,
I gave them one that we paid for, the town paid for through Essex County. I believe
Nancy took it about the top too. Yeah.
to create our own copies on a different gauge of paper, things like that. That was her choice.
yeah, and just carrying that one step further, no one from the committee came to me
Never
and
asked us.
asked for, because we have an account with the UPS store, we would just said, go ahead and by all means, charge it to the town.
She wouldn't let any of us help.
Okay.
So that's why it's like for a one-time use versus, paying for, a copier that we're not going to be using all the time for that.
What's that?
It was expensive, I think it's $9.
Yes, we would definitely cover
She can
that.
be reversed, can't she?
If she saved the receipt, she,
Ask for it.
yeah.
Ask for it.
Is
Okay,
it like once a month if someone wants a larger document, or is it less frequent than that?
for us.
For the plan, for applicants, community members,
hardly
the
ever.
board,
I haven't ran into anything. Doug could probably answer that better than anyone, but larger copies.
like how often do people want larger copies?
Well, the problem falls in where if somebody sends us a digital copy of plans for a house, and we want standard size house plans, we can't do it. We have to farm it out to Schistler or whoever.
But that even being said, we would never have a copier machine that would do the big copies anyway.
Well,
So
we
here-
never have.
No,
but
and I don't think we
if move
would.
forward on something like that, that is what you need to consider. If you don't want that, then it doesn't matter what you
Is there a significant price with farming it out,
No, but it would be a significant price having a machine that big.
doing it in-house?
Yeah.
What does it cost to farm it out?
Well, if we do it through the county, it's more of the time it takes. We do it through UPS, it's really not I don't know how big of a map Nancy had made.
She
but
had a announced on it.
So she had it on the back end,
Yeah,
but
so we could put it on.
because regular posters usually don't cost that much, maybe $40 tops. If that,
Plans would be
yeah.
like $15 a sheet,
Yeah.
somewhere in there, and you'd have 6 or 8 sheets in a plan.
So $100.
But that's only if it's really required.
But the other thing, Doug, we could also say that as we're reviewing codes and requirements, you could just require that a paper copy has to be given to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's an
Put it on
easy, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's start with board member reports. Darren, you want to start or
Yeah.
anything?
I don't really have a lot. I'll let Michelle pretty much talk about it. It was basically the Mountain Music Fest went really well. Had a great attendance for the weather that day because the weather was absolutely terrible to start. Despite that, everybody had a good time. We got a lot of good feedback. Please get on Wilmington Mountain Music Fest page on Facebook. Take the survey. Tell us what you thought. Anybody that didn't attend, you should definitely plan on it next year. I'm sure it's only going to get bigger, and this year would have been probably really good if it hadn't been for the rain. Other than that, I think everything's been going pretty smooth. So
Well, in spite of the rain, it was a really good event. All of you guys that volunteered on it, well done.
Okay, so, is that your important? Okay.
I really
So I'm just going to echo a little bit more about the Music Fest. Like you said, with the rain, our ticket numbers weren't as high as we had hoped, but we still, despite the rain, sold 300 tickets. So I thought that was really good. And with our sponsors and volunteers, we had at least another 100 more, and the vendors. So we're still thinking we had around 450 people there, which was still a tremendous turnout. As Darren mentioned, we do have a survey right now. So far, we've got about 50 people that have responded to the survey. The feedback has been very, very positive and very helpful of what people would like to see in the future. So if you haven't filled it out, definitely fill it out because we are having a wrap-up meeting next week. And we will listen to your feedback and try to get the music that you want, some of the different vendors that you want, and it is very helpful. And I know that people weren't able to buy T-shirts at the event because they may not have had cash with them. So I do have the T-shirts and the stickers for sale at the office, and I can take credit cards at the office, so you can come in and get your T-shirts and stuff there. This Saturday is the town yard sale, and I know that I put a deadline for people to get put on the map. I have not created the map yet. I plan on doing that tomorrow. So if you haven't been put on the map yet and you want to be, then just let me know and I can still add you to the map. And the last thing is, believe it or not, in less than a month now is Festival of Colors. I crept up on this really fast. So September 9th is the festival, and I've already started booking entertainment and everything for it. And if you know of anyone who is a vendor that would like to have a spot at it, let me know. And other than that, that's about it for this week.
Thank you.
Can I ask where the revenue from the concert goes?
Currently, we are still working on all of the bookkeeping on it to see where we landed. But it looks as though right now, any revenue that was left, we may end up rolling some of it over towards next year's, just to kind of have something to get us started. As we said, because we didn't have as many ticket sales as what we had hoped for. Our goal is in the future for it to be an actual fundraiser towards maybe, a project for the town.
But talk about last year.
Last year, we did give money to the pavilion fund.
What was it, like $5,000?
It was $5,000 that we gave.
And I have no doubt if the weather would have been better, they probably would have been able to cut another $5,000 check to us.
Absolutely.
The weather just killed it. But for people that stuck it out, it was a really fun event.
And statistically, most major events, year number 3 is where they really kick off. And so next year, I really expect it to be huge. I've already got booking agents contacting me and saying, book our bands and bigger bands too. So I think that it's really going to be a big hit because the exposure has really gotten out there now and people know that we exist. So I think it's really going to be a good year next year.
It was just confusion about where the revenue went.
Well, right now we have no revenue from it,
Yeah,
so
okay.
there's no confusion.
There'll probably be, unless we sell a ton of T-shirts, I think it's gonna be a wash.
Right.
How many would you like to buy?
So we can resolve that, and, we can put that conversation.
What we've always said, and this is what we've always stated, that revenues will go towards park and recreation.
Yeah. Tina,
Just that we have the Health Awareness Day coming up at the beach at the end of the month on the 31st, and the parade's on the 19th, followed by Community Day. Now, tomorrow night is the STR meeting. Will there be handouts and stuff, Tim, do you know, available, or do you ladies know? I won't be here, I gotta be out of town.
I guess we can have handouts.
well,
Well,
so,
I'm just like, I can't make the meeting, I've gotta be out of town for family emergency thing, I've gotta be out. So I was just wondering if there would be things that I could follow up with to read and stuff on it and stuff. I won't be able to.
the way it was explained to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but tomorrow's meeting isn't necessarily a handout type. It's more to get a total community input to
Oh,
the
okay.
members of the committee. Like,
Okay.
it's not gonna be like a debate or anything like that. It's just gonna,
Well, I didn't know they had
anyone
information or
can
anything
attend.
coming
And
up.
again, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way it was explained to
We
me.
give our ideas and
Yeah.
ask for.
Feedback,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, anything?
And no, that's all I have. Thank you.
The event at the beach, mental health awareness, what time?
6 o'clock.
You're up, Tim.
So we've talked about our town historian giving her a stipend for 4 months at least, I would say. Then we've been talking about it. Can we get a resolution to do it?
She doesn't want a stipend.
Okay.
I personally spoke with her.
Okay.
We're getting the Ancestry.com
Mhm.
plan for her.
Okay.
And I told her if she wanted, I personally spoke with her.
Mhm.
I told her that the town was willing to give her a laptop. But as far as the money, she doesn't want it at this point. She
Okay.
doesn't want to be paid. The intent when she asked for compensation was to just cover the Ancestry.com in her capacity as, town historian.
So she's not paying out of pocket for her.
Right. And we're starting with that. We're doing a 6-month subscription, and I told her, Mary Carol, anytime she wanted to, be compensated in anything else, that we're more than willing to.
And so we are getting her a computer?
No, she doesn't want
She
one
doesn't
yet.
want one.
Yeah, just the Ancestry, but that's in the works.
Okay, that's all she wants, that's
Yeah.
good. The subdivision fees that we've talked about for a few months, I just want, are they being collected? Were they collected, will they be collected going forward?
Going forward, they will be, however, we need to get the applications updated and replaced on the website, because right now it's getting bad information, and we're having a problem finalizing it.
So have you taken steps to get that corrected?
Well, Nicole has it, and she's supposed to probably do it.
Okay, well, let's pull in Dawn with this too, because she talks to about social all the time, and we can, but Nicole has to retype
That's the problem.
I understand, okay, got it, all right. Just remind me during the week then. All right,
If she doesn't have time, I can do it.
yeah, well, it's already part of her
Program.
program and stuff. What else you got, Tim?
What other things that I'm turning pages to try to find?
Okay.
You guys can continue talking about subdivision fees for the next 5 minutes.
Well, while he's looking, there was something that I tried calling you on earlier this week and didn't catch you. On our website, if you look at the top where it says, I think it says visit us or something. The drop down has the thing for short-term rental forms and stuff.
Yeah, I have caught that one. She had a lot of stuff in the wrong places.
Okay, I
I'll
just
look-
want to let you know, because
No, I
it
will.
should have a link like to the Visitors Bureau or something like that. Certainly not for short-term rental applications or something like that under the visiting section.
While we let Tim get himself together too, I also thought of something else that we brought up in a couple meetings is the playground equipment. Are we gonna make any type of movement on that? And that was between you and Tina, and you guys were looking into it, or?
I presented
She printed
stuff.
what she had, and the gentleman I was waiting to hear back from never got, I talked to him twice, and he never sent me anything.
So is that something that we can have together for the work session and make a decision next month?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I gave you guys.
I know, and you have the other, we just have to sit down
And
to
figure out,
actually,
and have maybe, we, both of you, let's make sure that the companies we're hiring are people that have a stake in the game up here, that we're gonna get service and stuff like that, because the guy we bought the benches from Jay, he was up here like a couple weeks ago, just, making sure they came in right, they was gluing little caps on the end so they wouldn't come off. The customer service of this guy is just a real.
it's very
That's
important to
very
have a
important.
local salesman that lives in the town by, because it means a lot.
Yeah, and we did get charged a lot of stuff that we could have been, so. We ready?
I guess I'll have to wait till next month.
Okay,
And to answer Laura's question, yes, Simquest is the company I was talking about.
okay.
We do that already.
Yep.
All right, this is the point of the meeting where I open it up to the audience.
So I just told John, we did pass a resolution honoring Jane, and it's in the previous month's meeting.
Yes. Yeah. Anyone like to ask? Yes.
Are you gonna put in playground equipment now or in the spring?
They'll probably be in the, well, I don't know, it's
It
still,
depends on-
they'll probably be on order, and then
Yeah.
depending on when it
Because the
comes in.
company I was talking to said everything was backordered until after the first of the year anyways.
Anyone else? Anyone online want to ask us questions? Okay,
Wow.
we're adjourned.
Yeah.
All right, you can turn on your phone now.